girl, hey, welcome to the Simplyeevolving podcast. I'm your host, Eboney. I've created this podcast for women to have a designated space to evolve in all aspects of life, including our walk with Christ and building a healthy self-image. It's simple. I'm a woman, and this is a place where we're going to evolve together. Now let's get into the episode.
Hey girl, hey, welcome to another episode of the Simplyeevolving podcast. This is an unorthodox pod episode. Y'all should see that I'm in a different setting, but this is nothing that's new to me. So I have recorded before in the car of my 2020 Chevrolet Blazer, hotel rooms, the room in my parents' house. I am not new to this. I am true to this. I am a woman who is simply evolving, learning how to be as obedient as possible, learning how to make less of me and more of God in all the areas of my life. And this is just a place where I feel like I'm making a wonderful location. Send me your location. Not the location, but a wonderful space designated for women to just evolve in all aspects of womanhood, whether it is things physically, emotionally, spiritually, parenthood, being a mom. I'm not a mom yet. I'm a dog mom, but there's some things that I could also reap benefits from other women who are in the group. Your faith walk, entrepreneurship, the list goes on and on. I feel like your tribe is everything, and you always need somebody to, not always, but it's nice to have somebody in your corner who understands you, who can also give you a biblical perspective about things, and I just feel like that means all the more. Girl, she rusty, but she ain't editing it out, because flow with it. So girl, get you a candle. What is this? This is vanilla creme brulee. Creme brulee. Creme de la creme. Get you a little candle. My favorite scent is vanilla, so we're going to light this. Kind of get that in. Light you a candle. Get you a cup of tea. I saw this today on TikTok. They was like, what's TDU is my testimony, and I agree with that. We're doing apple cinnamon. Is that apple cinnamon? It's a cinnamon spice with a couple little things of lemon juice, some cinnamon, and some honey, and it's amazing, girl. Yes. My tea a little lukewarm. I'm trying not to be so much of a lukewarm, but yeah. Okay, so let's get into the episode. So today, this is, like I said, an unorthodox pod. I am sitting here on the floor of my living room. You don't see the grass wall behind me. You don't see the Simplyeevolving whatever. In the sense, I just feel that also says less of me, more of him. Being where my feet are planted. Number 2, I feel like God has constantly been telling me that, like, okay, well, why aren't you using what I bless you with? Because, like, I've been going through some things to where it's like, okay, you've been waiting so long and not having faith in yourself for so long that I have to either push you out of here or make it seem like others are pushing you. And I want you to find your way back to me and find that I am God, that God also can do things to where he does punish us. He does. He corrects us. It's called chastisement for a reason. I don't know why there's a perspective in my mind that, oh, well, he's God, my father. He's only my savior. No, if I ask him to correct me, what does he do? If I ask him to give me patience, if I ask him to give me stewardship, what does he do? He places you in situations that test your flesh. So he doesn't test you. It tests your flesh. It tests what you're already operating as, which is typically the programming of the world. So he just gives us off to our own devices. So I have been lately in the book of Isaiah, and dang, don't lose the page. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. I am currently in the book of Jeremiah now. But let me not lose my page. If I'm not mistaken, I'm on 16. Okay, cool. So I've been in the book of Isaiah, and I've just been seeing how he's been going in and out. And listen, my brain will pick up the scriptures I need to pick up, but I'm not a Bible scholar, okay? So just flow with me. So I've been seeing how he continually gives people over to the reprobate mind that we want to have, and then we try to put Jesus's, God's approval on our own devices. Like, I've experiencing being a woman who is doing the bare minimum. And it be like, well, dang, that ain't none of him. It's all of me. Like, hold on. Let me find it. Okay. Isaiah, verse 60. Right? Verse 60 and 11. No, 10. So, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have had mercy on thee. It's so crazy. It's like he will allow us to do, like I said, what we want to do. But he will also use those devices to bring us close to him so we can get on our knees. Like for me, stewardship, y'all. I had to come to realize, like, okay, it's not the fact that you make the money. It's not the fact that you're investing in yourself. It's that where your money goes is where your heart is. And hold on. So also, like, okay, I'm in this season of entrepreneurship. So knowing my works will want to have me being super perfect, So therefore, I idolize not being how I started this. I idolize having everything together. There was a point in time when there was more of God and less of me. And it's crazy that when you are coming together from your perspective, your own will to God's will, you start to make sense of the vision. And when you start making sense of the vision, it's kind of like you get beside yourself and forget that, like, okay, this is God's will, not mine. And then we try to start to take control. And that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to like, oh, okay. All right, I got that part. All right, I got that part. And it's like, okay, he got to bring you back down so you can remember where you were originally. And that through all of his strength, through all of his mercy, and all of his grace is why I am where I am today. Girl, working a job where your body is breaking down, or just a job in general where you're not satisfied, or being in a situation where it's not allowing you to become the person who's God calling you to be, you tend to try to make those glimpses of your own works, that extra whatever bonus you got, that extra overtime. You start to like idolize that. And that's where I came from. And I had to realize, like, even me being in my home where God has placed me to be, I did not find this home on my own. It appeared to me. When God wants you to be somewhere, it will appear. You don't have to search for it. Whether that's a person, a job, an opportunity, a home, it will come to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, it wasn't my works that got me here. Because when I moved into this house, I had medical debt from breaking my wrist. Okay. And I wasn't set. Yes, I did have 6 months of rent saved up. But even then, I think I've told y'all this before, like, I was not a good steward then. I just had a cushion. So it's like the devices that I used was my works. Since I got my job position in 2020, I didn't realize that, like, okay, well, I'm working because I'm seeing a dream. I'm seeing, okay, God can use this. I don't know where it's going to be at. I don't know what apartment I'm going to be in. I don't know if it's going to be a townhouse or a townhouse or a condo or whatever. I don't know what, but I'm seeing that God wants me to separate myself so I prayed for it. I said, God, I want you to put me somewhere to where you can refine me. You can prune me. You can grow me. You can develop me. And that's what he's doing. But what I did not know is that it's not going to look like how I expect my evolution to be. I didn't think that it'd be going through a breakup and a breakup that with my ego, I said that, girl, I would never go back to that situation. I did not know that he would allow me to go back to certain things that I low-key was telling myself, no, I'm bigger than that, but at the same time, I'm longing for it. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been in a situation to where it's like, okay, you know what? I know God's grace got me out of that situation, but I'm low-key not done with it yet. I'm low-key not 100% convinced that it's not for me because of the lack of self-development and self-esteem that I had in myself at one point in time. I didn't know that he was going to show me that, like, Ebony, you came from an environment to where you were so gratefully blessed. You didn't have to worry about food. You didn't have to worry about clothing. You didn't have to worry about a little thing. It was all right. But what you didn't know is that you found comfort in those things that were materialistic. So what do you have to do? You had to strip me, girl. I've been a woman who was, and this is also because I've been cultured to see myself that way. Past tense, cultured. ED, catch that. To see myself as the bundles or the wig or the acrylics or whatever that is. This is a whole new me, girl. It's a whole new me. This is not typically how I saw myself. I saw myself, girl. And it's disappointing. When you get to a place, it's like, hey, you know what, God? Like I said, when you say, okay, God, do this for me, prune me, grow me, da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, okay, well, the way I saw the vlogs. But it's crazy because, like, whole time, he's blessed me with the things that I said I wanted to do. This camera. This phone. This lighting. This microphone, this apartment. He's blessed me with those things, but because I could not see it beyond. So, because I didn't see it beyond what my works could gain me, I didn't see, let's use this for an example. I went for a walk the other day, and it's a blessing for that too. If y'all have not took that video down, if you go over to my, it's not on it no more. If you go onto my social media accounts, you can see that I have Natalie on my back in her backpack. That was a blessing on its own because I said, Lord, I want to be able to be active. I want to go out. I want to take Natalie with me. I want to be able to spend more time with her. And I did not know that I've been short-sighted this whole time. Because of my works. I see that my works, my job can create resources that will make the possession of a microphone, this lighting, this phone bill, this camera possible. But farsight, faith, is seeing what God can do with it. You see what I'm saying? I have a GoPro that I've been wanting to have, did not have to pay for. Okay? God will also bring things to you. So if you're focusing on only what your works can do, what space do you give God? And I've been going in and out of this position to where my works are struggling with my faith. And that's why it's important to remember the mercies and the grace of God, not your works. Because your works is what got you into that toxic relationship. Your works is what allowed you to stay in a position that wasn't allowing you to bloom into the person who God called you to. That place was too small for your gifts. Even that degree didn't allow you to bloom and blossom into the person that God is calling you to be. So like I was going back to the story of the walk I was on yesterday, day before yesterday, I was like, I kept looking down. And I'm like, oh, ain't this just like me to be looking down at my problems? Catch this. So if I keep my mind stayed on God and stayed on the things above and things that is to come and aware of my surroundings, think about it. If I'm looking down at the ground, I'm looking at dirt. I'm looking at bugs. I'm looking at the things that are crawling on the earth. I'm looking at things that he's not called me to be. Like, I'm walking. I have a different sight from being a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at these things that are gray, the rocks, the dirt. What joy can you see from that? But if you lift up your head, and I kept saying, Ebony, why don't you want to keep your head lifted up? Why don't you want to just stay here? Stay here. I have the headphones on. I have to take them off too. Like, why you want to keep running away? Why you want to keep blocking the ways? Oh, hold on. By hearing and seeing, reading the word. Why do you want to keep blocking the way that God is going to give you the vision that you're upset about? Oh. What do you say? Why do you want to block the ways that God is bringing you the things that you to be able to receive it? You have to see it. You have to hear it. Because the faith is the feelings, is the knowing. God, give me a sign. How? I'm looking at my problem. I'm looking at the bill that's due. Bills due. Everything do. What do I do? What do I do? Like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I was on this walk and I'm like, why is it so hard for me to keep my head held high? Because I'm not allowing him to speak to me. Because my faith is on my works. My faith can only... It's one thing to have faith, to believe in where God has planted you, but know that there is more to come. Know that there is more to come. And like I was saying, even with the walk, okay, cool. I was walking, I finally took the headphones off. I'm being observant. I'm trying to keep my eyes up. And then think about okay, look at this. This is cool too. Like, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see. I can't read it, but I can't find it right now. But there's so many times where God kept reminding us that he made all these things. He made all these. So think about it. If I'm looking down, I'm only looking at one element that God has made, the earth. But there's different components of the earth. There's the trees, there's the sky, there's the birds, there's the wildlife. Like, I get to see, like, dang, God made all these things. Why can't he make more things happen in my life? But then he wants you to be having your head down and only focus on this one thing, and that be the thing that you think that you have control over. God made that too. So if I'm like, okay, wait a minute, God made this, give it back to him. Throw it. Look, and that's where your faith is. It's literally taking it and throwing it back to where, look, you can throw it anywhere. Throw it on the ground. Throw it away. Throw it out of your sight. Stop focusing on it because he made it anyway. He made it possible. He made it in your reach to have. If I give it back to him, he gonna do what he gonna do anyway because he made it. I'm mad I can't find it. For I, the Lord, who has made all these things. He kept saying, anyway, if I find it, I'll put it on the screen. But like I said, he made all these things. And as I sit here, I'm like, when you're focused on your works, you can't even remember. When you focus on your works, you only think about the things, like I said, that you feel like you've accomplished. So therefore, your faith don't even have nowhere to stretch forth to, because it's like, dang, if I don't do, I can't have. What type of life is that? Faith without works is dead, but also faith is that mustard seed, that small thing. It's that step that you take when things don't seem like it's supposed to work out for you. God gives the increase. I'm reading some stuff from my Sunday sermon. Okay. These are the steps that that we spoke about in church on Sunday. Fret not. Trust God and do good. Delight in the Lord. Commit your ways. Rest. Cease from anger. And wait. And it's crazy because it's like, that's been the thing that I be struggling with. It's hard to do that. Why is it so hard? Fret not. What is fear? False evidence appearing real. Whatever you're fearing, okay, transparency moment. Should we do that? I guess we will. Obedient. I was scared about how my rent was going to get paid. And it's crazy that the thing that you fear about be the least that happened. 10 times out of 10. When you're being obedient. That's the key. It's been plenty times that I read also. I'm sorry that I have not been like as... Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. There's been plenty of times where when I was disobedient, whether that could have been fornication, whether that could have been not listening to wisdom that he's given me, whether that could have been just being on my own, doing my own thing, not having a reverence for what God, like, after you do those things enough, he'd be like, they hearken not their ear to me. I gave them signs, but they don't want to see. What am I supposed to do now? Like, they call on my name, but they don't listen to me when I get them an answer. So, I'm going to let it all burn. Because they don't want me anyway. They really don't want... Have you ever been in a situation to where you're trying to help somebody, and every time you help them, you come back around and they look exactly the same? You done gave your time, your resources, your wisdom, and it's be like, they come around with the same request. When it's like, I gave you the resource to escape this habit. I've gave you the resource to escape this mindset. But every time I come around, you want the same thing. It'd be like, wait a minute. You don't want what you say you want. You don't want the change. You don't want it. So what do? You forgive, but at the same time, like, okay, this is not my job. I've also had to learn a lot of times I can want to be somebody's idol when it comes to, like, okay, cool, let's talk about this. So I'm a person who, at my job, I am like, I had to grow from being such a jaded perspective to being more healthy and seeing the good in all things and being open to the people who God is placing around me. And it's amazing how I will be able to give all of them advice, but won't follow my own. Because if God has given you a word, why don't you think that word is for you? Most of the time, when God gives somebody a word, they're typically up on the mountaintop in their prayer of solitude. And that's why it's so important for you to not to bring us in, the world, into your sacred space of prayer. Because who knows what you're opening yourself up to. Because even as a Christian creator, I've had to learn, like, That's not for show. That's protecting. Because if the enemy can learn your habits, if you say, okay, at 6 o'clock every day, I do this. Why don't you think the enemy will try to send you whatever, whether it's a job that's going to be calling you because now you're on call, or it's a person who just want to blow up your phone at that time, or somebody, you just never know how the enemy can try to taint that sacred space. So when you are going to your prayer closet, whether that's a corner or whatever, keep that sacred. Don't expose those things. Like when the disciples was sitting there asleep, he went on about his business. He could, if they were sitting there asleep. Wait a minute. If the disciples were sitting there asleep, why couldn't he just sit there and pray and talk to God then? They're not paying him no attention. They sleep. Because what's for me is for me. I have to get what's for me first. It's not for everybody. My favorite thing to say is, I make content about my life and my life is not content. Because if you live a life that your life is content, then what time do you have to be present? If you're constantly thinking about, let me record this, let me record this, let me record this, why can't you just be in the moment of your blessings? This whole week I've been waking up saying, Lord, what would Millionaire Ebony do? And I find myself some days I'm on the 9s, I'm on the 10s, my I's is dotted, my T's is crossed. And some days like today, girl, it's like, don't want to do nothing. Don't want to do nothing at all. And I'm sitting on the couch, I'm like, I was getting sleepy. I'm like, why am I tired? I slept in today, like, why am I tired? And it's because I was doing everything but what he placed me here to do. Truthfully. Even the vlogs that I recorded was half booty. It was half booty. Like, you just, And why not give him your full surrender in it? Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, who's going to watch my stuff? I don't have the luxe items that people typically want to see. I don't have the resources currently to go out and get the nails done or go shopping or whatever or this or that. But it's like, that's not what it was about anyway. You're as a light in the kingdom, you're not here to preach about this bag, this Louis Vuitton, this massage, this facial. You're not here. You're here to say that God has all the glory. He put me here and he's kept me here. He's allowed me to experience these things. So not only so I can experience it, so that way when I go into a place, I can say that my testimony, it's a blessing that I get to have this massage and I have to work super hard for it. I get to just I'm not even doing this massage as a what do you call it? As a way to combat something. So I'm doing it because God loves me and I'm supposed to be taking care of my temple, not because I'm beating my temple up. Been there, done that. You going to get a massage because your body is exhausted, your body is tired. But what if those are the signs that God is giving you that there's more out there for you? God don't want you. Now, we know the marketplace. There's jobs that we have to have. Some jobs are more physically demanding than others. But I think everything has a perfect time and a purpose time, like my pastor has said. And what if you're not supposed to be there for 20, 30, 40 years? That's scary. Because when those things have given you the resources to do the things that you would love to do. But one thing I've noticed is a lot of things that
Hey sis, evolving doesn't have to be a journey that you take on by yourself. Thankfully, I found a platform, an intimate community for women on the Geneva app. Download the Geneva app, available for Apple and Android devices, and search Simply Evolving Community. That's GENEVA EVA, to join a community of women supporting each other through entrepreneurship, faith, finance, fitness, and to share encouraging affirmations in time of need. And sis, if you have a question or a topic that you would like for me to discuss here on this podcast, send over an email to simpllyevolvingpodcast@gmail.com with simply advice in the subject line. Remember, sis, evolving is so much better with a friend. Talk to you later, sis.
I've done over time has been an escapism because I'm tired. Has been escaping because I feel like I deserve. Why do you feel... Ooh. Why do you feel that the only reason to why you deserve to go on a trip, have a spa day, is because you work hard? Why do you feel like you only... Why do you feel like the only way... It's amazing how programming sets in. Why do you feel like the only reason why you deserve, or you can explain to why you put yourself first, or why you going to get this massage, is because God loves me and he's given me many things, and in the kingdom he gives this, he gives abundance. Because it's amazing, like, when you in a workplace, typically there's different people in the workplace. It's like, oh, well, people be like, well, I don't got what you have, or I got 6, 7 kids, so, or, I don't do that because... When you look at yourself, like, think about... Phone. Golly. Let me look it up. When I think about, what's his name? The man that kept getting those, kept replacing the thing that they was trying to tear down. Hold on, let me see. So, many colors, Bible. Joseph. He had that coat that kept getting torn up, but how did that coat... God didn't, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember God explaining why he replaced his coat. The coat that his brothers ripped up. The coat that the lady was trying to get him in a trap. But he kept getting it back. He ain't have to work for that. He don't got to explain that because of my character is why I got this coat. It just is. I just do. I do it because my temple, the better my temple is regarded, the better I'm able to speak to people because I feel good. I eat this way. I work out this way because it helps me have a better perspective on life, because now I have the energy to go for that walk. I don't look at people like, oh, you doing too much. I dress myself this way because he always gives us these, he would give us these linens, these garments. The priests back in the day, the priests used to have to wear these garments in there because of the holy. God requires you to come to him correct. He don't want to come to me. He will accept you where you are, but he don't want me to come to him feeling downtrodden and less than, or hiding. Take off the fig leaves. Take off these things that you feel what validates you. Take off those emotions. Take off those people perspectives. Take off the people pleasing. Take off the identity that you've adapted over the years from the programming that you're under. There's people in the Bible who he's also have to strip them from was the norm in their country. Take that off. That's not what I called you here to do. That's not who I called you here to be, or to do, or to be. I'm just a woman who's trying to learn how to do life right by the man who's placed me here, and do right by him in the ways that I live my life. Every day this last week, I've been learning like, oh, I see why I did that. Oh, and that's a blessing. I used to be a person who would beat down on myself about that, bro. Like, no, it's a blessing to be able to get, like I was saying, okay, so it's a blessing to be able to get turned around and learn how to pivot. It's a blessing. It don't matter what stage in life that you've pivoted, but the fact that you've learned like, oh no, this is not becoming of me. No, this is not the way that he wants me to go, is a blessing. He wants it. He's been asking. He will be asking like, my people, they won't turn around. My people, they won't hear me. My people, he's still claiming you, bro. Like it don't matter what type of thing that you're giving yourself away to. He's still, my people, they don't hear me. My people, they're not hearkening. My people are not hearing me. It's breaking my heart that they're not hearing me. Like they're not understanding that I'm still seeing them, that I'm still choosing them. No, they're not too far gone to come back to me. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Behold, then said I, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child. He's telling you, stop acting like you're the limitation that you've put on yourself, because I told you who you are. I called you. I called you to live a life as a prophet, to speak life into other people. If I called you to speak, then speak. For thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee. I'm going to send you. You don't know where you doing. Come on, Domino's. Everybody, let's go. Your map can't help you. You do not have the direction sway. And whatsoever I've commanded thee, thou shalt speak. I didn't want to tell y'all that, girl, money was tight for me. Didn't know how I was gonna pay my rent. Didn't want to do that. But there's other people, cause God will also. I'm not too big of a person to where God has allowed me to see other people's struggles. So therefore, when I have my own, and I see God bring them through it, and it was not easy for those people. It was unfavorable for those people. But when I saw that, just stick to the word that I gave you. I told you I had a better opportunity for you. Just keep showing up. It may be hard right now, but keep showing up. And in the end, you will receive exactly what I said that you will receive. And I see that. Breaking that mold and that barrier of lack and scarcity mindset is a hard thing to break. But the peace on the other end. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Don't be afraid of what people have to say. That they don't understand your vision anyway. They don't understand what I've given you. Don't be afraid of the face that they make when they're like, oh, you think you... oh, you moving on. You said what? Oh, you found out you too good for this relationship? Oh, how you gonna do that? Don't be afraid of that. Because he will deliver you through that process. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. He touched you and then has you speak. As a human being, we be wanting intimacy so bad. He would touch the place that you're limiting, that you're holding back. And he will put the action in that space. He put forth his hand and touched my mouth. It's amazing how he put forth. He made a move. The mustard seed of faith, you just got to put the move out there first. And then he touches it. You step first and then he blesses it. And then he will put in you what he's requiring to come out of that thing. I have put my words in thy mouth. I may have put some scriptures together. I may have said some things in the wrong context, but I'm receiving what God is telling me in this season. And it's to do well now. Don't focus on, like how I have, don't focus on trying to do well once you have it. Do well while you don't have it. Do well while the bills still due. Do well when the opportunity has not come. Do well while you're waiting for that kingdom partner. Do well while you're waiting and struggling to study to get that degree. Do well with the kids that are acting up now. Do well now. Do well. Let him finish it. Well done. Complete. Do well now. Your only means of control should be, am I waking up today in a posture to do well? Am I waking up in a posture to know that the waves, the wind that I'm facing right now that's blowing stuff around, and it's amazing. God will shake stuff up. What does wind do? It blows stuff around. Can you still believe that the adversity that I'm walking over, regardless of the wind, that God is using to strengthen my capacity and my faith as I am approaching him, as I'm walking to him? Do I believe in that? That's all you have to do. And it's easier said than done. But that's why your why is so important. And time again, I've had to come back to my why. Why did I start the pod? Why did I not care about it not being aesthetically pleasing? And give that thing to him so he can bless it. Give whatever it is that I am running away from to him so he can bless it. Let me read you the lyrics to this song that I talked about the other day on my TikTok. And I'll leave y'all with this. So let me go to my music. The song is called Running Away. And let's see. Let's go to search. And don't want to get flagged, right? The song is by Amaria, Running Away. And this is what I said. Here's the lyrics. I know we've been down this same road here before, doing things that leave me wanting more. I didn't get close, I didn't impose, I didn't give up, just lost my heart. Gotta free my mind in waves. Why you running? Can't stop running. Free my mind in waves. Can't stop running away. I keep on running and running. I put my hands up. I keep on running and running. I cannot stand us. I keep on running, but the day is coming. Now I'm feeling lonely. Gotta get your love and gotta get the, Just like the last time did it, I've got to stay committed. Can't help but feel these feelings. But if you want to know how hard it is to grow, just look into my soul. I've got to let it go. But I don't want to stay. I can't seem to explain, but I can't stop running away. That's how my flesh be. It's like, I know, Lord, you've put me down this road before. Like I said, foreshadow of my walk the other day, where I thought I was going the right way, or I got an opportunity where I wanted to pivot, or I had to pivot. And then instead of me saying, okay, well, I'm seeing that God is giving me the grace to turn the other way and keep going in this direction, I would stay stuck in a mindset like, oh, I failed or whatever. No, keep going in the way that God is leading you to. Even if you've been down the same road before and it seems like you get to the point where it's like, okay, I could have stopped at that fork in the road and be like, okay, well, I know it's more that way. Like she said, doing things that leave me wanting more. I'm going on this path called life, and I keep getting to the same spot. And it's like, I'm familiar with going that way. My sight, my limited perspective of life, the things that I don't understand because you know all things, is keep telling me to go that way. But every time I try to go, that way seemed longer to me. That way seemed like, ooh, this seemed like it's going to be shorter. I'm going to get to my destination faster. But you end up just being right back into that spot. I didn't get close. I didn't impose. I didn't give up. I didn't get close because I thought that way seemed way longer. I didn't impose. I did not. It's I don't know. I can't get to it. It's on my phone. I didn't pray with a demand that God, I need you to get me through this. Ask what you need from him. Allow your how do you say this? Allow your confidence to meet God where you're limited at so he can pull you the rest. Ask God, like, I don't have that. I don't know what it takes for me to get to that place, but ask him, like, what are you requiring from me? What do I need to do? You didn't give up. You still know deep down in your heart when you were going through this life journey, especially as a Christian, and you're knowing that there's something more that God wants you to do. He's calling you to not settle somewhere. You're not giving up. But just don't lose your heart. Because that's where God looks. And your mind, which is the playground, you can get however many, as an overthinker, I understand, you can get as many thoughts in your mind as you want to, but don't allow that to change the perspective of your heart. Gotta free my mind in waves. You don't have to settle for these ups and downs of glimpses of your works. Getting up to this corporate ladder of success and saying that I'm sacrificing my family, my time, my hopes, my dreams, and then you get a pay raise and it's or a bonus. It's like, okay, cool, but now I'm sacrificing all the things that really mean a lot to me, whatever that could be in your life. While you running, please stop running. And she kept saying, gotta free my mind in waves. You'll be reminiscing about those glimpses of your works. Wait a minute. I don't know if I can find it. Hold on. I'm hoping this goes okay. Look at this. I looked, there was none to help. I wondered what there was, none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and in my fury it upheld me. He looking to help you. Free yourself from them waves of your own works that are leaving you unfulfilled. Now let's go down to the second part. I keep on running, I put my hands up. Please surrender. This is not a gospel song, but I'm turning a lot of songs, a lot of things in life, I'm turning into a representation of my life. Okay? I put my hands up. I keep on running, I cannot stand us. I cannot stand my flesh. Because that's why I'm running. My flesh don't want me to surrender to the process that God is pulling me down. Because you going down. You going down because whether you get up to your own devices, until your flesh gets into proper perspective, you gonna go down. But the day is coming. Now I'm feeling lonely. Gotta get your loving. Gotta get the just like the last time did it. I've gotta stay committed. We get committed. We be going through these seasons of life where we on fire for God. We know what we supposed to be doing. And then life be lifing. And then it's like, okay, I gotta get back to that same commitment that I made to you before. But if you want to know how hard it is to grow, just look into my soul. Lord, the things that I do, I don't know why I do, but I do them. Somebody said it. Who said that? We ain't said about, hold on. Let me look it up. Because like I said, I'm a woman who's simply evolving through her relationship with the Lord. Okay, so So this is Romans 7:15, verse 20. I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate to do. And if I do what I do not want to do, I agree that the law is good. As it is no longer myself who do it, but it's sin living in me. I have to learn myself that, like, sometimes when your flesh is, when your faith is wavering, I'm like, oh, that ain't me. Because I want to do the good thing. I just haven't surrendered that part of myself yet. So, because I had to say, the other day I was struggling, y'all, within my flesh. I just say, Lord, I don't know where this feeling is coming from, but I don't want it. I only want it in the way that you want the glory out of it. For I know that good itself does not dwell in me. It's not your norm or your desire to want to do good. That is in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. You can only do good for so long by yourself. Why do you think people go through times where they be like, I've been abstinent for 6 or 7 years and I just gave in? Why? Because your why wasn't really surrendered to God. You was going on your own will. And a lot of times we don't be understanding, like, okay, the only reason why you're comfortable with seeming surrender is because you're not in the pit. You're not in the face of temptation. You are, sometimes I've learned too that you're just playing it safe. You're not really in the wilderness. And that's why he be like, they call me, but they don't know me. Because if you really knew me, I would be putting you in situations to tell the truth. Think about Jesus. He was in situations to where, no, the truth is the truth. The word is the word, and that's what it is. Point blank. For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. Now if I do what I do not want to do, it is no longer I who did it, but it's sin living in me that does it. Let's go back to the song so I can close this out. Because look into my soul, I've got to let it go. I don't want to stay where I am. I can't seem to explain, but I can't stop running away. I had to ask, Lord, why I keep running away from what you're trying to tell me to do? Why do I keep trying to put things in my life to patch up that feeling of insecurity? Insecurity? That ain't the word, but of some uncertainty. Why do I want to whether I'm living in my mind somewhere else or whether I'm taking up the space that you're trying to bring the thoughts, the ideas, the plan into my mind, whether I'm filling up with people, circumstances, or just watching TV, nonsense. Why do I keep wanting to do that? Why do I keep getting so scared of the uncertainty that you're using to build me up to where you're trying to bring me to anyway? Why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep running away from every opportunity that you bring me to grow me? The opportunity that I prayed for. So, I'm hoping that this helped you guys out. Every once in a while, I probably will be right back here in front of the black couch. And, just be me for a minute. You know, let myself just flow. So, these will be the podcasts that I do that are not so structured. Easier for me to edit because it's very little editing, which is typically never much for me to do. But, just to show you that everything doesn't have to be ideal. And yeah, so I hope you guys loved this episode as much as I felt so comfortable doing it. Couple house notes is please go to my website and see the opportunities that I have if you live in Detroit, Michigan. We got through it, though. If you live in Detroit, Michigan, oh no, I got my book. Oh, it's only one page. Okay, please go to my website, www.simplyeevolving.com, and check out the links there. I do have an event coming up on August the 24th of 2024 at 5 p.m. It is a sisterhood picnic, so for the community group that I have built, just a way for us to connect with each other, have some face-to-face camaraderie. I do know that in the social media world, it's way more convenient to do things online, but I know that is you get a different feel in person, because like, are you going to church? We are the church, so if we're bringing different perspectives of the church together to see what we really need, because some things it's hard to talk about in church, unfortunately. So if we bring different parts of the church that we're struggling with to support each other, then I just feel like that's a great thing to do. I am going to start a book club as well. I have a book already designated for the fall. So we'll be discussing that there over some charcuterie style refreshments. That's something that I love to do. Charcuterie style refreshments by the water. I love to do that too. We will have some activities to do as well. Still planning out a couple of those things. Anything else? If you are an entrepreneur, you live in Detroit, Michigan, please go to my website as well and the events tab. I'll put the link down below. You can either email me at eboney@simplyeevolving.com or send a message directly on the website. If you are looking for a place to sell or promote your events, looking for a place to do a class or whatever, I am building a place for you guys to do that in the entrepreneurial space. Very affordable. We're just here to help each other and build a community of entrepreneurship as well. So I think that's all the houses I have now. What else? All of my healing tools, my self-help journal, my activity book, my notebook are all available on Amazon. Just search my name, Eboney Gould, on Amazon, and they should all come up. I'll put the links down below for that as well. And then go and subscribe to my personal YouTube account, Evolving with Eboney, for all things just womanhood, you know. So this is like a space to formally learn, grow, Bible study, things of that nature. And then over there is more like the activity, hobbies, and expressions over there. So yeah, I have a place for everybody to do all things womanhood. So yes, follow me on Instagram at _EEvolving, the podcasts at Simplyeevolving.com. I am now on Threads as well. Have not posted yet, but soon. TikTok at Evolving. Yeah. Anything else? I think that's it. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. I hope you guys loved it. Comment down below if you have a topic you want me to talk about, or you can send questions over to, I can answer them via the podcast. They will be anonymous. Girl, where's your words at? Anonymous. Eboney@simplyeevolving.com with evolving chats in the subject line, and I will do those in the next pod. So I will see you guys very soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.